Hello everyone, let me welcome you to a lesson in social studies through the virtual training center of the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai under the work from home sessions. My name is Shraddha Teacher and we have been doing many lessons in social studies for standard 9th this year, isn't it? So likewise, we will do a lesson in history today and it is lesson number 2 from your history textbook. So if you have your history textbooks with you, you can just pause this video and go and pick up your textbook and come to page number 5 in your textbook. So we are going to talk about events after 1960. That is the events which happened in India after 1960. Now children, in this particular time, we know that in the year 1947, India became independent. India was under the British rule and under the Portuguese rule, okay, but we attained independence from the British on the 15th of August 1947 due to the efforts of all these people that you can see here on your screen. So many people sacrificed their lives, they gave up whatever they had, and they struggled without looking at anything else, without considering their families, without considering their own well-being, okay, and they fought till India became independent on the 15th of August 1947. After this, you will see that we set up a framework of our constitution and we adopted it also, and very soon we started calling ourselves a sovereign democratic nation. So India became a sovereign democratic nation, and then from there we did not look back and we went on progressing step by step, by leaps and by bounds. Now you will also see children that there is something very unique about our country. In no other country in the world you will see this kind of diversity. Diversity means differences in the lives of people, in the way they lead their lives, the way they worship, the food they eat, the clothes they wear. Okay, so there is so much of diversity, there is so much of differences. But in spite of these differences, we are still living together amicably as one, and it is this diversity that is uniting our country together. And that diversity is also the beauty of our nation. Nowhere else, let me repeat, in the world you will see this kind of diversity. So on this page also you can see people wearing different attires, different kind of clothes according to their religion that they follow, okay, but they are still one. We are all Indians. So that is the beauty of our nation. But now children, when we became free in the year 1947, there was still a lot of problems that we were facing. You should remember that India was a very rich country, okay, but because of this imperialism and because the foreigners, they used us for their own benefit, it is after they left us and went, we were left a very poor nation, okay. There was a lot of poverty, there was a lot of unemployment, that is, people did not have jobs in our country, okay, and you will also see that there was a lot of problem with the agricultural sector. Now agriculture is the basic occupation. It was also, and it even now it is the basic occupation of many people in our country. So there were many problems as far as the economy was concerned, as far as the society was concerned, when the British left India. So we were very happy that yes, we now have our freedom, we have our independence from the British people, but at the same time we were also very worried that we will have to cope with these problems, we will have to manage with these problems, and for that we will have to have a plan in place, okay. So therefore the Planning Commission of India, it came into existence. We established a body called as the Planning Commission of India, and we decided to look at various problems that were troubling us, and the basic thing was we wanted to lift up the Indian economy. So the government tried to do its level best in order to lift up the Indian economy, and the Planning Commission also paid attention to the various parts of our economy. That is, we looked at trying to reduce poverty, growth in all fields, especially in the field of industries, rural development, that is when the cities developed, the villages should not get left behind. So development of the rural areas, development of infrastructure in the rural areas, lighting, water, etc., education for people living in the rural areas. So all these things also were in focus, and the Planning Commission worked towards developing all these things in our country. Agricultural development was a very major issue, okay, because we wanted to be self-sufficient as far as food was concerned. So we wanted to grow our crops, and we wanted to establish new technologies there. We wanted to use new techniques in order to meet the mouths that were growing day by day, to feed the mouths. We also looked at developing the industry, because only developing the primary sector, that is agriculture, would not make us a developed nation. So we wanted to develop the industrial part of our economy also. We wanted to bring about economic equality also. That is, we wanted to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. The people who were rich were becoming very rich, and the people who were poor were becoming poorer, and this was not good for our country. So we wanted to bridge this gap by bringing about economic equality, and all this would be possible if people would get employment. So the Planning Commission's focus was on all these things, okay? Growth, development in agriculture, development in the rural areas, development in industry, providing employment to people, and thereby increasing economic equality and reducing poverty. So with all these things in mind, we step our foot ahead, and we tried to see that India is on par with the developed nations of the world very soon. Now let us enter the decades one by one. We are talking about events which happened after 1960. So we will look at this decade wise. That is, we will look at the first 10 years, the 1960s, and what all things happened there. Then we will look at the things which happened in the 1970s, and so on. So the first decade that we are going to talk about is the 1960s. So let us see what all important things happened here in the 1960s. There were a you can say, events which were a landmark in the history of India, and one of it was the liberation of Goa, Daman and Diu. Okay, so these are the places which you can see on the map. So India had become independent, of course, from the British, but there were certain other foreign powers like the Portuguese who were still ruling India in these particular regions, that is the region of Goa, Diu and Daman. And these places were freed from the Portuguese rule, and they became part of the Indian nation. At the same time, there were some worrying things also which were happening. Now, just like even in today's situation, we have a lot of tension happening on the Indo-Sino or the Indo-China border. So these tensions were existing even then, okay? And there was some kind of tensions which were happening between India and China as far as the border area was concerned. Now you can see the red line, wherever on the map you see the red line, those were the places where the disputes were happening between India and China. And you can see these two places which are marked in brown color. One is some regions of Arunachal Pradesh, which is a state in India, and the other one is Aksai Chin, which was again the bone of contention, you can say, or the area where there was a lot of issue between India and China. So this problem of the Indo-China, you can say, border or unrest, it started way back then in the 1960s. And this tension, it escalated and it escalated, and finally it culminated in a war between these two countries in the year 1962. Okay, and this war was fought along the McMahon line. Now I couldn't get a clearer picture, children, of this, so this is a little blurred, but you can see the McMahon line, the dark colored line here. You have the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and then you have this particular line which we call as the McMahon line. And the war was fought in the region of the McMahon line, which is also the line of control, okay, or it is the border. Now after this, you will see, after India became independent, there were such tensions happening, and we should also see who were the people who were leading our nation there. So we had Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the Prime Minister of India when India became free, and he is called as the architect of India's foreign policy. He was the person who was responsible for framing and putting into place a very good foreign policy of our country. Now, if you see, children, India has never taken the first step in aggression or in troubling, you can say, any other country. We have only defended ourselves. And this kind of framework was laid down by India's Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He has contributed a lot towards the social and economic development of India as well. But sadly, Jawaharlal Nehru passed away in the year 1964, and the person who succeeded him was Lal Bahadur Shastri, and he became the next Prime Minister of India. And as you can see him on the screen here, he was a very simple man, simple thoughts and simple living, but his thinking was very, very high. There was an unfortunate incident which happened during Lal Bahadur Shastri's tenure as a Prime Minister, and that was India and Pakistan went to war in the year 1965 over the Kashmir issue. So you can see that these issues of Kashmir, issues of problem with China, they are ongoing even today. Even in today's times, you will see that these problems are being faced by our country. Okay, so these two countries, our country went to war with Pakistan in the year 1965, and Lal Bahadur Shastri tried his best to see to it that we suffer minimum damages. And he was the person who gave us the slogan of Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan. He said that if the nation has to develop, then there are two people who are going to be responsible for it. One is the Jawan, that is the soldier who protects the nation at the borders, and the second is the Kisan, or the farmer, who works tirelessly in order to grow crops to feed the population of our country. Okay, so the Jawan or the soldier and the Kisan, they work tirelessly in order to see that we are protected and we are fed. So they are the two most important people in our economy, and therefore that is why Lal Bahadur Shastri gave us the slogan of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Now, Lal Bahadur Shastri also unfortunately passed away in Tashkent in the year 1966. Okay, and then you will see that he was succeeded by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. She was the daughter of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and after the demise of Lal Bahadur Shastri, she became the Prime Minister of India in the year 1966. Now, children, you know that when India was partitioned, that is when India was divided, there were two places which were given to Pakistan. That is, one is the Pakistan that we know of today, West Pakistan, and there was another place where there was a lot of concentration of Muslim population, and that was the Bangladesh that we know of today. But Bangladesh was also a part of Pakistan at that time. It was not an independent country. It was called as East Pakistan. Now, Pakistan, or West Pakistan as you can say, it was very, very oppressive in its policies against East Pakistan. That is, the people of West Pakistan, or the rulers of West Pakistan, they used to make the life of people in East Pakistan very difficult. And that is the reason that people began a big movement over here, okay, under the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. You can see here, this is the area which we call as East Pakistan then, and now we call it Bangladesh. Alright, so Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he was a person who led this movement, and his organization was called as the Mukti Bahini. Now, there was a lot of impact of this crisis on India also, okay, because Mrs. Gandhi, she supported Mujibur Rahman ji in this, you can say, struggle of his. But because of this, there were other repercussions also, in the sense that India had to go to war with Pakistan once again, that is in the 70s, and also there was this problem of refugees, that is, a lot of people migrated, you can say, in an unauthorized way from East Pakistan to India. Alright, children, so today we talked about the introduction of this particular topic, that is India events after 1960. We also talked about the various changes which happened in our country in the 60s and how it impacted the future decades also. Now, when we meet in the next part of this lesson, we will talk about the war which happened immediately in 1971, and which led to the creation of independent Bangladesh. But that will be later. We have taken up most of our time for today, so let us meet again next time to continue this lesson and do part 2 of India events after 1960. Till then, this is Shraddha teacher saying bye from the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika.